Good morning, Philadelphia Eagles fans, and good morning, NFL fans, for another week of NFL football. With this week, our 1-3 Eagles are taking on the New Orleans Saints, and their Saints are coming to our city to play a football game. Now, I do have to have a disclosure at the beginning of this video. Let's bring certain things back to reality. Football is just a game. In the end, it's just a game. Chip Kelly said it himself, and I believe this too, especially as a prior serviceman, military. There's bigger things important in life. There's people out there fighting for our freedoms. There's teachers out there that teach our kids. There's policemen and firefighters that keep us safe. So, in the end, no matter what I talk about, football is a game. And there's other things that are more important, that should take up more of our heart, more of our time. With that being said, this is all part of entertainment, so we're going to talk about it from that aspect. Because yes, this season has been a little frustrating, to say the least. Now, last week we played the Washington Redskins, and I warned some people telling me that this game's in the bag. Washington's on the downswing. We're going to get this. We're going to crush them. We'll be right back in the seat. We'll be fine. I have to remind them, this is the NFC East. Anybody can win it any week. And on top of that, we haven't looked that good. That's just a fact. We haven't looked that good, you know? And we came out very, very flat the first half. I think it was like 13-0 or so. We just looked like garbage. So much so, I have to be honest to say that it went through my mind to actually turn off the game. Now, I'm never going to do that, but it actually went through my head. We looked that bad that I actually wanted to turn off the game. We were doing the 3 and out so fast. The offense was on and off the field in like less than a minute. Our time of possession was absolutely atrocious. I think we ended up with about 8 minutes to Washington's 22 minutes. Defense not giving up so much, because 13 points is still giving you a shot to win, but this is a team without Deshaun Jackson. This is a team that's not playing Robert Griffin III. This is not a dynamic team, right? So it should be very clear what they're going to do. But of course, I kept the game on, watched, and then Sam Bradford got some time to throw. Receivers got open down the field, and we started scoring touchdowns. Of course, kick missing an extra point, one of them, but next thing you know, throw up 20 points like that. And once again, we got that hope that the Eagles were about to turn things around, and we're that close to just turning it on and being the team that we all expected. Well, Pierre Garçon got rid of that idea when he scored that touchdown with about 26 seconds left in the game. But the most frustrating part, as far as for the game-wise, for me as a fan watching, was before Sam Bradford got the ball back. The kick went after Washington scored the touchdown. The kick went, I think, about 6 or 7 yards into the end zone, and Josh Huff got his hands on the ball. Now, this is a guy that's supposed to be my breakout player of the season, and he has pretty much done squat because the ball hasn't come to him, or he's been injured, one of the two. It was obvious that Josh Huff wanted to come out of the end zone. And I believe it was Riley Cooper that held him up and told him, no, don't come out. I commenced to yell at my TV screen. I'll be honest with you, because you got to think about it. We're a team in desperate need of a spark. I mean, this is how we relate it to regular life. When what you're doing is not working, you have to do something different. And we'll go into that with our mini review of the Saints. But you have to do something different. You have to give yourself a shot to do something great. And having Josh Huff come out of the end zone and try to return it either an extra 20 yards, 40 yards, or to the house, because he has that potential to do it. He's an explosive player. You can't handcuff that guy with your rules of saying, oh, well, if it goes this far, don't come. No, sometimes you got to go for it. And a 1-3 team has their back against the wall and has to do something that works. And then, of course, we come out, Sam Bradford comes out, and shows his immobility and gets sacked like twice on the last plays of the game. And then we play this last second, we're gonna throw the ball to each other, and then Washington intercepts it. It's like they even knew what was gonna happen with that. Overall, very frustrating game to watch. Very frustrating to watch Washington win and now be tied for first place in a very weak NFC East division. We're very fortunate to be in the NFC East because if you look on New Orleans' side, they got like Carolina and Atlanta that are both undefeated. They pretty much have to win this game to have a shot, because getting in as a wildcard team is going to be pretty hard. It's going to be hard like it was last year, where 11-5 wouldn't have made it into the playoffs. So you pretty much have to win your division. We still have a shot. I'm still talking about that. Playoffs? We talking about playoffs? Yeah, we still have a shot because we're 1-3. Everybody else in the NFC East is 2-2. So, what are we gonna do? We're gonna find out, because this week New Orleans comes here. I remember the last time New Orleans came here, Darren Sproles was on their team, and he was probably the biggest reason why we lost that game. Now he plays on our team, and I'm very glad that Darren Sproles is still on the Philadelphia Eagles, because he's one of the few sparks that we have that I can still get excited for. Now, as always, and I promise this, I'm going to hold to it at least for this season, New Orleans coming to our place. If you're a New Orleans fan, what I would recommend going to is the Mummers Museum. Yeah, I'm going to send you down to South Philly. The Mummers is this like group of people. It started out pretty small and it's gotten huge, where we have a Mummers Parade every New Year's, and it's supposed to be a fun dancing kind of an event where people dress up and have costumes. And actually on Broad Street we have a huge parade where there's like 10,000 people that show off their dance moves and how they can play instruments. And we have a museum that's dedicated to all that, and it's just another one of those things that was done early in the foundation of our country. It's something that we've maintained since. So go down, check out the Mummers Museum. It's close enough to the stadium too, so that's another thing as a New Orleans fan, even as an Eagles fan, go down and check out the Mummers Museum. For the Saints, what we have to do to look out for what the Saints are going to do is very, very, very simple, because it's one guy. One guy is the difference to what we have to do in our game plan, and it's Drew Brees. It's not a secret. The guy can throw the ball, period. The guy can just throw the ball. The guy can throw it quick. The guy can make smart decisions. The guy can make other people around him good. And the guy, and thank you Saints for beating the Cowboys last week. I appreciate that. You know, and you got Spiller, of course. You can't sleep on that guy. And you got a basic football team, but it's really key is to Drew Brees, which means for our defense, I'll tell you what, we got to start taking chances. I remember the Jim Johnson years, and we had some great players, including like Brian Dawkins, and we had Leader Shepard, Sheldon Brown, Jeremiah Trotter. Like, you go down the list, we had some great players, and you know what, we still took chances. We still blitzed a lot and got to the quarterback. Drew Brees is the key to the Saints. If you don't blitz and get to Drew Brees, we ain't gonna win. For offense, I mean, we gotta do something. Oh, more on defense though. Our corners, you gotta play press. You got to. No more than 7 to 12 yards playing off the wide receiver and let them quick dink and dunk it and let them get up speed. No, you got to get in their face. We're 1-3. You got no choice, in my opinion, because what you're doing is not working. Eric Rowe was in the game. Byron Maxwell wasn't, so he's doing his best. Being a rookie, didn't do so horrible, but we still lost. Got to do something different. Got to get the Drew Brees. For our offense, you definitely got to do something different. You got to get the ball in the hands of your playmaker. It's very obvious who our top playmaker is, and it's an ex-Saint with Darren Sproles. You got to get the ball in his hands. You also got to get the ball in the hands of Josh Huff. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. You got to get the ball in his hands, which means you got to line up 3 wide receivers like on the left-hand side, have Josh back, and then throw it to him fast, get the ball in his hand, let him run it. You gotta take your quarterback and put him under center when he's gonna hand off the ball to either Murray or Matthews or Sproles. Running backs across the league all agree. And what you're doing is not working, because if you look at running stats, other than, what was it, the Jets game, our running stinks. And you have to, once again, in my opinion, you have to have Sam Bradford hold the ball and run it sometimes to keep the defense honest. You have to do that. Because the defense is not respecting that Sam Bradford's going to hold on to the ball and bootleg out and either run it or throw it to somebody who's open. When he has, it's been wide open. We look like a team that needs a Tebow kind of player, that at least the defense respects his running, so it would open up our running game so he can throw some bombs down there. Crazy enough to say it. Because if Bradford can't do it because either his knees or his immobility or something, we have to do something different. This specifically goes out to you, Mr. Jeffrey Lurie. You're an owner of a team in a city that we are diehard fans. I'm never turning in my green. I just don't want to get to the point where I'm just waiting out the next coaching or owner change. Because I've been through it. And player change. I don't want to keep on going through that. I want to root for the players, team, ownership, coaches that we have now. I want to get excited about it. When we score a touchdown, I don't want to be like, oh, we probably got a penalty. But when we're playing a game, I don't want to be thinking about, oh, this is how we're going to lose it. No, I'm a positive Eagles fan. I love to have fun. I love to enjoy myself. I love to be entertained and not be frustrated with a lack of execution from top to bottom with an organization that I love that represents my home city. So, yeah, it's time. It's time for us to keep our head up. The team that we have now. That's our choice as Eagles fans, because that's the only thing that we can control. We're not going to be allowed to come onto the field legally and help our team. The best thing we can do is pick out a couple players that play with their hearts on their sleeves, represent our city well, and back them 1,000%. Darren Sproles is one of them. Connor Barwin's one of them. Malcolm Jenkins is one of them. I believe Josh Huff in his heart, he's just a competitor. I think we need to get the ball in his hands. I think we have a lot of good pieces. You know, Fletcher Cox plays hard. Brandon Graham, we got some pieces there. And in the end, I just want us to win. I want us to win, but I want us to notice we keep our heart on the table. And we can prove it any week that we decide to show up for 4 quarters. So, this week, I hope we get to Drew Brees. I hope that we play more aggressive defense. And I think we need to change our game plan for offense to do something special against the New Orleans Saints. As we do down here in Broad Street, no matter how good or bad we do, like in the theme of our video anyway, going down to the numbers, because it's all about the fun that we're going to have regardless of what's happening around us. Go Birds. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!